Scraptrap's design is pretty bad, and is a complete derailment from the absolutely fantastic design that Springtrap has. However, Scraptrap's design could actually have been really good, and in some ways, it could have been better than the original Springtrap design. Now, if you're someone who doesn't understand the difference between Springtrap and Scraptrap's designs, let me fill you in. At basis, Springtrap's design was meant to represent one thing: William Afton being spring-locked inside of the bulky Spring Bonnie suit. And within FNAF 3, I think this idea was conveyed perfectly. Even though the actual corpse inside of Springtrap does look a little bit janky, you're not really meant to see it in full, and the few shots where you do actually see it look really good. However, moving over to Scraptrap and into Pizza Sim, the whole design philosophy changed a good bit. Even though the whole idea of William Afton being spring-locked inside of this thing is still there, the idea here was to make this animatronic feel more humanoid, with its more human proportions added to the suit. However, this went horribly wrong because Scott just completely messed up the proportions on Scraptrap. His head is far too big and his ears are way too far back on his head, and all of the withering on his body look absolutely horrible and blocky. I mean, look at the body inside of his suit. That thing is probably the most hideously modeled thing I've ever seen. However, if we're going to try and fix this design, I think the best way to do it is to combine elements from Springtrap and Scraptrap, while still trying to keep the major ideas of Scraptrap. I think the proportions need to be fixed the most, and just a lot of the smaller details need to be refined and pushed way further than they were in the original. I also think we should completely stay away from the withered Springtrap design, because even though it wouldn't make sense, it's a little boring. So with all this in mind, here's what a rethought Scraptrap should look like. Now, this design was made by the Oof Troop, and oh my god is it amazing. This thing takes everything good and bad about Scraptrap and completely fixes it, and my god does it look amazing. He just looks so much more haunting here, and way more like a person trapped inside of a suit, instead of just like a weird humanoid rabbit thing. So yeah, I think Oof Troop's redesign of Scraptrap is absolutely perfect, and the perfect reimagining of the character.